Oh heck, I haven't got much battery left. Right, welcome back. Episode 9 of the build diary on the Rotrex Supercharged 8-port Arden Mini. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, link up above as per normal, and you can go and review those and get caught up on where we're at. There's been quite a lot happening off camera so far this past, well, 4 or 5 days since the last video went out. It was a little bit of downtime last week while I was waiting for some parts to arrive, and then this weekend I've been cracking on, got quite a lot done. The engine's out of the car, it's split and dismantled, and I've started to assemble the block, which was my dummy block, and the gearbox out of Bumblebee, which is here on the hydraulic table beside me. I had some issues with the, well, I got it all put together, let's put it this way, I got it put together, and I got it, new gaskets, etc. I got it all tightened up, and then I went to turn the engine over just to see that everything was alright basically, and it just made a clunk and the engine wouldn't turn over, and to the best of my judgment, and from what I could see, it was something inside hitting the inner casing of the gearbox. So it all had to come apart again. I've had to order some new gaskets from Mini Spares, which came today, and I've had to relieve the ends of the conrod bolts, just put a slight chamfer on them. It was either that or take out some material out the inside of the gearbox, which has already been done, and it's quite thin, so I didn't want to risk that, and it's much safer just to take a little corner off the bolt of the conrod, which I'll show you next. So on here you can see I've just taken off the corner of the bolt, just filed it, and it was pretty much just a tiny little bit on each and every one, not so much on that one, and then a bit more on that one up there. So yeah, all 4 conrod bolts on that side needed a chamfer just to clear the inside of the gearbox webs. Alright, as I just said, the engine came out at the weekend, and I've started cleaning up inside here because it was all very dirty. There's still some bits of wiring to take out of the back of the engine bay here for the dual lambdas. The cam sensor wires, they need to go as well, and there's a few other bits and pieces. The wires that are down here, I've mentioned before, these ones for all the spot lamp and lighting relays. I'm going to reposition those, and the horn relay, which is just sort of in here on the inside of the slam panel, it's going to go over there. I've repositioned the air horn compressor underneath the washer bottle. The actual air horns are mounted under the wing pointing forwards, and the mounting bolt is just under there. And the other thing I've got done is that ring is the bracket that holds the oil canister for the supercharger. So that's just had a riv nut put in the wing, and it's going to sit there. Which way up I'm not sure. You can flip either way up, but the hole's in the right place and we're all set to go there. I've done a bit of painting and decorating under here where it was black paint that come off and got scratched and was going rusty, but I also need to do that bracket. I need to alter the bracket for the fuel pressure regulator. I need to put an extension on it and move it this way out of the way, as well as finish tidying up underneath where all this wiring, because under there's not been cleaned or hoovered out with all the salt and crap that's in there yet. Exhaust has been rubbed down and painted because it was all horrible. It gone rusty, and a few of the suspension arms have been done as well. So yeah, it's not looking too bad under here. It's not, when I get the engine back together, it could probably go in. I've also been in touch with somebody this week about welding on my plate here that holds the throttle body to the plenum, and I'm going to have that done on Friday. I'm going to take Friday afternoon off work and shoot across the Kirkbride and get that welded on. Shouldn't take long. It should only be like a single bead of weld, I would have thought, and then I can just clean it all off, mount it, make sure all the bolts clear these holes alright, and then just take the corners off to shape it a bit more, bit nicer. So yeah, it's all coming together. It's an absolute bomb site in here, with parts stripped off the engine. That bracket needs chopping where that line is, but getting there. Right, next job is to put the gaskets on here and put that on there like this. Ta-da! That's it on. I've turned it over, it doesn't catch. So now I've just got to put all the bolts in. I've checked the seal at the far end, the half moon one. It's as good as it's going to be, I think. So I'll just case of bolt it all up now. Okay, so that's the gearbox fastened onto the block. Next thing I'll do is a little bit of gasket you have to cut off here because they're over long, and I will put the primary gear on and check the end float on that. And I suppose once that's done, I can put the end cover on as well. Give it all a clean as much as I can in here, make sure everything's all hunky dory, which it is. Primary gear and then the end cover on.